Good afternoon everyone. I am Kavita Poddar, host of today's webinar on best practices in patent search using Orbit's features. Thank you all for taking time and joining in this webinar. Today I am with my colleague Mamta Sinha, who has good experience in patent searching. This presentation will take about 40 minutes followed by question answer session. You can ask questions all along the presentation in writing in the question answer box. If you have any questions pertaining to your connection, please use the chat box. We will group the questions in order to answer them all at the end of the webinar. The agenda of our presentation is to show practices a step by a step taken by most of the analysts using live example on RO membrane in water purifier. Now hand over to Mamta.
Thank you, Kavita. I would like to show practical approach towards taking patent searches. During the course, I would also like to give tips and tricks of doing an effective search based on my experiences. Before talking about best practices in detail, I would like to highlight here two things that a patent analyst needs to address in order to perform an effective search. The first is thorough understanding of invention disclosure or technology that has been given therein, whereby keyword extraction is done effectively. And the second is that we are not missing with any usual relevant or closer references, which usually happens when we use proximity operators between the keywords. Now, besides these two requirements, there is one other challenge that is before any analyst, and that is that he has to finish or complete the whole search within a stipulated time period. As you know, patent searches are time-bound project. Now, let's start with the best practices webinar topic. Now, in order to do a patent search, we follow certain steps. As just you can see on the slide given here, I have quoted here different steps that we follow for doing patent searches. The first step for any search to do is to define the scope. Now, the question arises, what is scope of the invention? Scope is generally defined as the extent of any topic or extent of the invention that is being claimed for or that has already been claimed. To be more precise, when I say to be claimed, this means that if suppose someone has not yet filed or not yet decided yet to go for patent filing, so it is still under an idea or an invention disclosure stage. So that under that condition, we can say the scope is defined as what you need to intend to claim. And when suppose there is a patent which has already gone under filing, it is published or it is granted, so there the scope means what is being claimed. So in short, we can say the scope of the invention is defined or estimated by the claims of the invention.
So scopes of the invention, what you explained here, is the same for every kind of searches or different?
Yeah, actually, Kavita, this is it is different for different type of searches. So I will be more specific by taking different type of searches one by one. Let me start with the patentability search. The title of the let us say topic which we have taken for patentability search is RO membrane anti-scalants. Now the first question arises here: what is patentability search? Now, patentability search is performed when an assignee or an applicant or any person who has the invention, who holds the invention, wants to file that particular inventive concept in any patent office. So he wants to look for the proper prior arts, the relevant prior arts, including the non-patent literature, so that he can find out if the invention is novel or is there any possibility of obviousness case. Now in this case, we are taking aromembrane antiscalant. The first thing what a searcher needs to do is he needs to thoroughly go through the invention disclosure, understand the invention, and identify 3 features from within. The first is the novelty feature, that is categorized as feature 1. In this case, it is high performance antiscalants in membrane, for example. The second feature he needs to identify is the application area. For example, here we identify that this high performance antiscalants is used in RO membrane for water purification. And third thing which he needs to identify is the application of the novelty feature. That is feature 3, which is, for example, here in this case is, let us say, high performance scale inhibitor, which works against calcium carbonate and calcium sulfate silicants, and it also combats silica fouling. So after identifying the features, the next step is the keyword extraction. We generally extract the keywords from within, and we then go for the synonym search. Now we can use the very good feature here in Orbit, that is a keyword search wizard. Like for example, when you give in the field text, for example, we have given the word antiscalant, which is one of the keyword for me, and upon searching in the keyword search wizard, we find that there are certain concepts which come that are all related to the keyword. For example, here it comes as antiscalant, scale inhibitor, anti-scaling agent, then anti-fouling agent, scale formation, scale inhibition, or membrane fouling. We find all these concepts are related to my word antiscalant, and they can be used as synonyms also along with it. So if you just click on them, the Orbit would automatically take them in using OR operator. Now these concepts, they have been extracted from the published patent documents which are present in the Orbit database, and they are all standardized in semantic. They are extracted through standardization, and the semantic rules have been applied therein. Now once we have extracted the keyword, the next step is to extract the classification. Usually what we do is we go to the WIPO or the eSpaceNet site and we extract the classification. For example, let me show you how we do. Like in this case, I go to eSpaceNet and I just write here antiscalant. So once I go for search, I just get a list of, as you can see, a list of classification codes we get. Now we need to refine, we need to find here which code is relevant to our invention, which code I should use here. There is a very easy approach by which we can actually extract the keyword, we can extract the classification here, and that is a very easy interface, and that is very quick and accurate result, or you can say good relevant result we can get using this. We use Orbit Easy, or you can say Orbit Easy search module for this. Let me show you. So under easy search, we put any keyword, in the novelty feature we just put. For example, here in easy search I just put RO membrane antiscalant. So we get a list of references which relates to this topic, RO membrane antiscalant. I think I will just hand over this now to Kavita. I believe she will be better person to make you go through how to extract the classification.
Yeah, thanks Mamta. As she said, you can use the Orbit platform to get the more relevant classification instead of going Google or SpaceNet or WIPO website. So just you need to run your query using the easy search module, as I did, RO membrane antiscalant, and you will get the result. For example, just scrolling down, I got this third one which is more relevant to me. So there is all the classification given by examiner here, so I can use this classification, and even to understand better this classification, I need to click every classification is browsing option is given there, that will take to that particular website. So if you click, you will find the explanation of that particular classification. For example, I clicked on B01D61/025 and it's talking about reverse osmosis and hyperfiltration. I believe this is the what classification you look for, right?
Yes, yes. So as you can see, we can get the real, or you can say very accurate one so quickly without selecting anything, without going through a lot of browsing all through eSpaceNet and WIPO. So it's a very easy approach and very prompt, and it gives you a very quick result.
Yeah, so the next step.
Yeah, the next step, after we classify, we extract the both keyword and classification, we next go to the framing of the search strings, and for that we use the operators and truncations. Now let us come to the string formation. This is the most important aspect of the search process. And the analyst needs to frame the strings very wisely so that he is not missing with the usual hits, and also he is not making the strings such that the number of hits are too high. So for that, what we need to do is we need to just combine the features which we have already identified. The first is we need to first do feature 1 plus feature 2. This means we need to combine the novelty feature with the application area. Here, suppose in some cases what happens is my invention can be used for varied application areas. So we needn't use feature 2 in combination with feature 1, just use feature 1 in this case. Next, we will do the feature 2 plus feature 3. The reason why I had you can say told to identify feature 3, that is application, is what happens sometimes some patent application does not include the novelty words or novelty features, but they may use the application part in that particular application. For example, as in this case, I have wrote combating the antiscalants or the calcium carbonate antiscalants. So, and we are using some high performance RO membrane. So they might not use a high performance RO membrane, but they might just use, this is used for combating the antiscalants. So that is why we need to use feature 3 here, and we will combine with feature 2, that is my application area, to get the another type of string that will include maybe some patent applications which are also talking about the same area of which we are searching for. Next is we combine feature 1 with feature 3, that is my novelty and along with its application area, and we will see if we get any new kind of hit in that case also. And fourthly, we will use the combination of all three, feature 1, feature 2 and feature 3. After we are done with the keywords, we will now do the combination of classification with the keywords. As you can see, I have given here classes like, for example, feature 1 with classification for feature 2. For example, we got the classification for RO membrane, so we can club it with feature 1, our novelty aspect. Then we will do feature 3 with classification for feature 1 and feature 2. So this will include all the aspects of the search. I am including every aspect, I am covering each and every aspect here. I have just done a search, a live search based on the keywords which I have actually extracted. For example, my keyword was RO membrane and antiscalants. So I did a very basic search with feature 1 and feature 2, and so I got a very big number of 4534. Now generally we get such big numbers. Now what we need to do now is we need to reduce the number of hits. For that, a very good thing is, a very good you can say approach is just use some value addition, words or adjectives which are part of the novelty aspect. For example, in this case, high performance membrane was one of the addition or adjective which was used here. Sometimes you can see some searches or some invention which relates to real time monitoring, or you can say the words real time is there, or somewhere the words used are integrated technology are there, integrated word is there. So we need to include such adjectives also in order to reduce the number of hits. And they are actually the keyword, which are actually the keyword, a part of the keyword. Just take into consideration which are part of the keyword. Next, after we get like in this case, as I got 1184, which is also a pretty good number, or a big number, huge number. Next, what I did is, next we go to feature 1, feature 2 and feature 3. So now I started refining my result. This is a broad approach. Now I am refining using the other feature, that is the application this side. Application is the calcium carbonate combating anti-scalant, that is a calcium carbonate fouling or silica fouling. So I just wrote here calcium sulfate or carbonate or silica. I didn't use fouling or combating or no such adjectives, adverbs or verbs in combination with the main keyword calcium sulfate or calcium silicate, because we might miss with some usual synonyms. So I'm just taking into first you consider only the main word instead of using with the verbs and pronouns and nouns, everything. So I got a result of 5 and I clubbed it with my other string, that is 2 string, means which was combination of earlier feature 1 and feature 2, and I got a pretty good number of 537 again. Let us say here I am getting 537. Let us say you did a search and you got here also, you get a very big number, a huge number. Then you approach to use the proximity operator here now. Like next step, I have used proximity of operator with calcium carbonate and silica, and I've used scalant or anti-scalant or fouling we can use along with it. And then I combine with my other keyword strings. So what happens is my number reduces to a pretty low number, that is 304, which is feasible number to go for further analysis. So once we reach to this number, then go for the combination of classification with the features or you can say keywords. So with the classification as I've done in the 5th and 6th numbers. So after this we come to a conclusion ki okay, my 4th, 5th and 6th strings are the best strings, and I need to go for further analysis to do on these strings only. So last is you just combine all these final strings using OR operator so that the redundancy is further removed, and then we get a result of 820, for example, in this case. Now one thing I would like to here highlight is the usage of proximity operators. Always try to use the proximity operators judiciously. Judiciously means that you need to think from the point of view of a drafter. For example, in this case, as I had given the proximity of calcium carbonate with scalants. So why I had used P? Why didn't I use some more near operators like D operators or S operator is because the drafter can write that there are some material that are used as anti-scalant. Those materials are calcium sulfate and calcium carbonate. So here you can see the two words are written in different lines, different sentences, and not in the same sentence or in the very near operator. So if I write in P operator, using P operator, then everything is being taken into consideration. Even the claims, we just look at the claims. One single independent claim is one para. The line stops only at the end. So even there are two words written in anywhere in the claims, one part or the other part, it will take into consideration the P operator. So always try to use a broader operator, proximity operator first. If the number of hits are substantially high, then only try to use the low, or you can say narrower operators in that case. Only when you find that there is a need for narrower operators, then use a narrower operators like D or S. I have done a live case in this case on orbit, and I run to form 820 result as my final list. Now, after you get the list of 820 result or whatever result you get for your own searches, the next step is to how to reduce the noise from there. Definitely 820 can't be all references under 820 can't be relevant to me. I need to now analyze those 820 results. So how to reduce the noise, how to analyze quickly which all are the relevant ones among those 820. For that, we use the command line in Orbit. What we do is command line is below the search history option. Here, whatever field is relevant. For example, I want to check among this 820 result which all patent references are talking about calcium carbonate, calcium sulfate or silica fouling. I just gave that word in full text or in claims. You find which field you want to look at. Let us say if you want to see only in claims, you can just write /CLMS instead of TX here. And then you combine with your final string. For example, here I have combined with string number 4 to get my further refined result of 285. So in this way, further you can refine as, like I have used just the words calcium sulfate, calcium carbonate. You can use the some proximity with proximity operators as well. So what is your criteria of refining? That depends upon what is the keyword or what are the features you have extracted. So what do you want to look at? What is the novelty aspect you're looking for? So based on that, you give the novelty aspect or the application and then combine with your broader strings to get the define your results. Or you can say to find out the relevant hits quickly. So in this way, we can actually find out the relevant hits and we can analyze which all results are useful for me.
Okay, so after receiving the relevant hits, how you make sure you are not missing any relevant results? Because sometimes it's we get through the Google or somewhere else. So how you make sure?
Yeah, Kavita, actually what happens is for ensuring that we are not missing any relevant hits, as I have already told, we should use technical synonyms and we should exhaustively use a technical synonym so that we are not missing with any kind of words. Like, as you know, the drafters are clever in playing around with the words, so they can use any kind of synonyms. So use as much synonyms for each and every keyword as possible. Secondly, while framing the strings, the combination, use wisely the combination of the synonyms and operators. Try not to use the very near operators. Try first to use the broader, or you can say the bigger, broader operators, I mean to say, like P and S first, then D. And third is the similarity and citation search. This is what I really prefer everyone to perform after you have screened down your result and found out which all references are relevant. Once you have screened down that, okay, these are 10, 20 results which are relevant to me, then what you do is, after that you do the similarity and citation search. The similarity search, I think, Kavita, you can the best person to explain that. Can you just explain?
Yeah, thanks Mamta. Let me come online. Yeah, as she said, we need to perform the similarity and citation search to ensure we are not missing any relevant hits. So Questel is having these features and the coverage is really good for citation as well. So you need to select some good hits from your result set. For example, I have 108 results and I'm just going scrolling through. I can choose any one of the result which is near to my search. So for example, I selected the third result and then I look for the similar pattern. So you don't have to work around, just the system will look for the similar pattern here. So what system does, system will identify the classification, concept and citation of this particular document, third document, and look for the similar pattern based on classification, citation and concept worldwide, and this will give you the similar pattern. So that will from the first option if you search. Then the second option is restrict to similar pattern, where system will identify the similar pattern based on these three criteria, but among 108 results set, within the result sets only. So in this case, we are now looking for the relevant hits, not don't want to miss anything. So we have to obviously click for the first option. Let's do.
So I would like to here add one thing, like once we are done with the searches and you have segregated your result. So let us say you have segregated 20 results. So for all those 20 results, you can just do this similarity search in the same way.
Okay. So in my setting, I have restricted my result similarity result set up to 100. So it's showing 100 only. Otherwise, we may get 1,000 or lakhs of result. So 100 is more relevant results having the even relevancy score, you can see. So now even if you feel 100 is more hit and you want to further scrutinize or you want to further narrow down the result set, so it's depend on your technology, which technology you are working on. So you can further look for the top 99 or 98 or 60% kind of. So what I have to do, I have already search history bar in the result set page. Just click there and select the last option, and then you just type top 99, 100, whatever, it depends on the requirement. So now I am doing the 99. So I am selecting the 99% matching the patent result with my requirement actually, that I selected the third document, that is high recovery drinking water process. So now I have 49 results, which is you can see the 48 results matching 99% to this result set. So this is the way you can get the similar pattern.
I think 49, Kavita, is a feasible number. One can actually
right,
screen.
yeah,
It's
to
not a huge
scan
number.
further,
Yes.
right, yeah. And then further you can do the citation, as people suggest to get the good prior art citation is the one way to do, and the Questel is having the good coverage for that. So let's select all the document 49, or maybe we can select few document to just do the faster. Let me select at least 5. And then you can run the citation. Here I am doing cited and citing pattern both. Yeah, so now I have 398 results. Here and there they have cited forward and backward to those 5 result sets. So I believe if you go through these 398 results quickly, you will find some good relevant patterns.
Yeah, Kavita, actually what now, so here I will just like to add here कि what now searcher needs to do is, in crux I will just say, if once he has scanned the results and he got some 20-30 results, then for that 20-30 only you do the similarity as Kavita just explained, and also for those 20-30 you just go for the citation search and you scan the net result which you get. Now my personal experience, I would say that the citation search is really helpful to me, because I was doing a search and I missed with some usual hit and I found that the same thing was present in the citations. So definitely I would really say that citation search is a very useful and feature which you should definitely go for. Now after once you are done with, you have scanned the results, you have got all the results, next is you have to scan the results quickly. You have to scan whether they are really relevant, how they are relevant, which is the part which is relevant in that. For that we use 3 features on Orbit. One is the highlighting the relevant keyword feature. As you can see on the slide, this orange area is the one. Second is a scroll bar, highlighted scroll bar, as you can see here. The next is the key content, and finally is the concept. First, if you look at the first feature, that is highlighting relevant keyword, it is actually taken by default from your keyword which you have taken in the search string. But if suppose you are merging, then it is not being taken. You can also write on your own which other features you want here, and then it in different colors. So if you apply and then say OK, then it will highlight the different keywords in your patent documents, in each of your patent documents. The scroll bar lets you know where is that position, what is the position of the keyword there. Then you can easily, quickly go through it, yes, whether this is relevant or not. Then there is a key content option here. Key content includes object of invention, advantages over prior art, drawbacks, and independent claims. So these are the basic things which we need to look for to find out if the patent document is really of my interest or not, and this gives you a real good picture and very quick idea about the invention. So we can go through this key content here. And finally is the concepts. It highlights in color which concepts are majorly present. The bold and the big, the big size, big font defines that this is the main feature of the invention. So that's how you can find out, yes, this is a relevant feature pertaining to my invention. Now this is how we end up with like the patentability searches. Now I will like to just tell you about the strategy for other type of searches also. After patentability, let me take up the invalidity or the validity patent search. Now the invalidity searches mean that you are invalidating a patent document. And invalidating patent document means we are finding out any prior art, whether it is a NPL, non-patent literature, or a patent document, it is pending, it is dead, it is alive, any patent document which is being filed before the priority date of my patent of interest. So here the difference between the invalidity or validity and a regular patentability search is just a mere date restriction, is just for the date restriction. This means in invalidity searches I need to restrict with the date, and in patentability we are not restricting to any date limit. So the approach of the invalidity searches or validity searches and the patentability searches is completely same except the date limitation, and thus the scope of the invention is also the same. Next type of search is the FTO search. Now in FTO search, the scope little bit changes. Why? Because here FTO is done for a product. Let us say a company wants to launch a product. So when I'm doing a FTO search for the product, my scope will be now the features of the product and not any claim of any invention. So it is just the features of the product which he needs to see whether it is suing or infringing any patent document. For FTO search, we need to select the jurisdiction because we need to find out where all he has a possibility to launch his product in the market. Also, we need to check for the legal status because it can only be infringing a enforceable patent. We need to find out which all enforceable patents it is infringing. We need to also look for the pending publication, because a pending publication will likely be a granted patent in future. We need to look also for the dead patents and full text searches on the patent database in particular countries of interest. Now, someone asked me why dead patents in FTO searches if it is already dead. We need to only look for the enforceable. Now, the answer is very interesting. Why dead patents we search in FTO is, like, if suppose some patent has expired, dead means either expired. So if something has expired, the product is it is easy to launch the product in market over there because that patent is already expired. Dead also means either abandoned, withdrawn, or it might not have been, the renewal fees might not have been paid, and so it has been abandoned in the any jurisdiction. So, and it is dead and it is looking as a dead status. It is shown as a dead status. So for that case, we need to find out if the condition is that, then the patentee or the applicant can revive the patent application in future go. So we need to take care of all these situations as well. So we definitely look for the dead patents in the case of FTO searches. Finally, we do the claim mapping because it is the claims which we are looking for in FTO searches. So we map each and every claim, each and every features of the claim in FTO searches. Now, the approach is very similar, as I had told you, the keyword extraction, classification, framing strings. Now, what is the unique feature in FTO is that FTO, let us say we have 3 features in a product. So when we do an FTO, we include any application which is having either feature 1 or feature 2 or feature 3 or a combination of any 2 or any 3 as well. And if all the 3 features are present together in an enforceable claim, then it is considered the best result. Now, finally, we come to the last type of search that we do, that is landscape analysis or the state of the art search. This is generally a very broad search. You can see a technology is taken, and we do a very broad analysis of in this type of searches. Now, when we are talking about the scope, as I told, it is different for different type of searches. So in this case, the scope of the search is broader. And we do a thorough analysis of the patents NPL database, which is related to the given technology. Here we also do some competitor analysis. What is the technology trend going on? We find the white space and we define the scope based on the existing technology trend. Now, after we are done with the searches, next final thing which an analyst needs to do is he needs to export the result, save the results, and make the final report and present it to the manager or to his client. So I think saving and export result, this feature, I think Kavita, you can explain better.
Yeah, let me show this feature live. Okay, so once you confirm this is the set of result I am looking for, and now time has come to present in the result set to share with our manager or outsider, anyone. So there is two things: either you want to save the result or you want to export the things. So first, for saving the result, you need to select the document, and then there is an option of saving in two ways. One is the work file and another one is the list. So first you need to create a new directory, and then for example here webinar, actually I have already done in the name of webinar, and then select that folder and then again click for the new work file or new list. So there is a slight difference between work file and the list. List is dynamic. Once you save the result today, and after 1 week or after 1 month, once you click on the list, it will take all the new publication if it happens recently. So it's a dynamic, but work file is a static and it's in different server even. So once you download it or move to the work file, when you click in the work file, further you can do searching, analysis and many other things like putting notes, attachment, and other things can be done. Even you can share this work file with any outsider by creating the reader ID and sharing with that ID. So let me create a new list here. And once you create work file or list, you select that and then say OK. So all your result set will be downloaded or saved in that list or work file for the future use. The next is exporting.
Before that exporting feature, Kavita, I would like to know what if suppose a search has not yet been completed and they have not yet refined the results, or they have not yet segregated the result, I should say.
Okay. So if you are not confirmed whether this set of result is good enough for you, and the next day you want to come again and perform the result set, then I think you need to save your keywords or a strategy instead of saving the result set. So for that, everywhere there is an option of saving that one. Otherwise you can do directly to the search history, or you can save each steps one by one, or if you want to save entire steps, then there is an option of save entire strategy. You can save the entire strategy, and the next time when you come, you can execute. Even you can edit here and there, and you can execute. And once you come back, if you want to see those where it's saved in my saved searches. Okay. So if you click, it will be here, and then you can go for the executing part. So this is the way you can save the strategy, or you want to save the result set in list or work file.
Okay, fine.
So let me show you exporting part here in Orbit. Questel has come with new exporting feature a few months ago. So I selected the 49 documents, and through this icon I can export. So this new exporting features has come, where it's easy to use, and all the fields, available fields which can be exported is left side, and the right side is selected field. So if you see here, everything is there, like number, all the numbers like priority, application, dates, every dates are there. Bibliographic information, full text, classification, citation, legal information, even links are given there. So if you want to share the link with your client or anyone outside, you can share those links and they can directly click and get the information. You don't need to download. And then further more fields are available. So as per your requirement, you can go through or select right side and you can go ahead. All the fields, selected field is having a sub field as well. For example, publication number. So what exactly you are looking for? You want to download or export the patent number with kind code, or a standard publication number, or all the publication number of that family members. So accordingly you can choose here as per your requirement. There is another option, advanced option, which gives you freedom how you want to export. You want to export each member of that family subsequently, or you just want to export this 49 result set. So if you click the family option, there is a two option further, all or as displayed in hit list. All means every members, or as displayed hit list means only 49 result set what I selected. Almost same for the patent, but grouping is different here. In patent it's a grouping based on country only. So if you want to export all the publication of that country, or you want to export just displayed in the hit list. The next one is publication, where there is no grouping, so you can directly go for all publication, all family member, or you can go for the family member matching to your query, or even if you go inside the result set, or you can select any family member. For example, I went through one result set and I just want to export the Korean patent. So I can select here, there, and directly I can click on the export option on that page, and then I can go ahead. And even you can apply the highlighter if by checking this one, so your word will be highlighted in Excel sheet. So as per your requirement, you can use all these features.
Like for example, we are doing the abstract or claim extraction.
Yes.
Claim we are exporting, so they are highlighted.
Yeah, if you are exporting abstract or claim, or you want to show that word highlighted to your client or anyone, you can apply that highlighters.
Right.
Once you're done with all these things, and if you use these kind of a standard selection of field most of the time, then I'll suggest you to save this. For example, I saved in the name of best practices or anything, FTO, patentability search, landscape, as per your requirement, and just click to save it. Once you save, next time you don't need to select here and there, just click on that profile and you will be able to get the extraction. So let me download here. Yeah, so it was not coming, I'm so sorry. Yeah, so it's downloaded, and the next time if you want to use the same profile, just click here and then you click on your profile, for example best practices or whatever you have done. So in this way, Mamta, you can export. So now I don't feel there is any missing part is there while performing the patentability search. What do you say?
Yeah, I think that is fine, and this is a very good interface where easy interface I should say, which Orbit has come up with the export feature. So I think that's all. We end with the best practices here and hope it is useful. It has been useful to you all, to all my listeners. Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you for attending the session. We will take the question and answer later. Thank you.